What's up everybody, this is Gamer CJE. Welcome back to Cities Skylines, and today we're back in the city of Sweetwater here in Deadwood County. And today we are having some issues that our industry area here, we just don't have enough workers. So what we need to do is add a new residential area, and this will be a great spot to do it. We'll kind of just follow along the highway here and build a new little subdivision right in this area. So the first thing that we need to do obviously is add a road so we can access our new housing development. And I want to come off a little way from the road, and then actually need to come off a little bit farther, it looks like. So let's come, I guess, right there. Perfect. All right, actually I don't want to go quite that far, so what I'm going to do is go like that, and I'm going to go straight out to about right there, I think. And now I'm going to get my bendy tool, and I want to follow along with the highway. Alright, that looks pretty good. And I'm gonna make a tighter turn this time and come just below. Actually, that doesn't look super good, so I'm gonna go back one section here, and we're gonna make a tighter turn. And come back where we'll be parallel with that road. Let's see how this looks. I think it looks pretty good. And now I'm gonna go straight for one more section like that. Actually, let's don't. I want to leave a little bit of room between this residential area and our industrial buildings over here that create so much pollution. So now with this one, I'm gonna go straight for one section so we get a 90-degree angle. And now I'm going to bend back in this way and meet these up like that. And I'm going to go straight just like that and meet these together right there. And then let's get somewhat creative in here. I guess this was one section going straight. I want to leave as much of this as possible where I'm going to be able to zone it, obviously. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of room, but I also don't want it to be exactly, you know, straight roads. I want to try and be a little bit more creative with this one. So I'm going to go straight for a little ways. And actually I might go straight and meet back up with this road. And let's see. This one, we'll just go straight with little roads coming off there, and maybe a little bit farther so we don't waste too much room, too much zoning ability there. And then with this one, we'll kind of loop back the other way up here a little bit, and then come off of this one. And with the end here, what I want to do is maybe go a little bit shorter, then build a little roundabout at the end, like the end of a cul-de-sac basically. I've never used the roundabout builder before, So this will be an adventure. I'm trying to figure out, okay, click to build, press plus minus to adjust. And I want it to be a little, that didn't quite work, so maybe we'll have to go one bigger than that. Roundabout, oops. Go with the roundabout builder. And we'll need to go plus. Okay, that worked. But I do want to build it away. So let's build, say, to right there. Now, let's put maybe a little bit farther actually. And now let's put in a roundabout. Actually, that was a little bit too far because I want to leave enough room that people will be able to... Oh, did I just go just as far? Oh. There we go. Okay. And let's see, I want to make sure that... people can build on it. Unfortunately, it looks like won't be too great for zoning, but at least a few people will be able to build on it. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to do here? I think let's see how this looks when I connect it. And I think I'm going to give up on this roundabout idea. It didn't turn out how I wanted it to, so we'll just have it be a bigger zonable area over there. Alright, well I think it looks pretty good. So let's put in the water. And I think, let's see where our closest hospital is. We're going to definitely need to put in a medical facility, but I don't want to put it in the neighborhood. So one thing we could do is we have this intersection right here and we left a little bit of space. So we have enough room to have a little... make sure it has water. To have a little, or not utility, a little services area right here. So we can put in a crematorium, a hospital, a fire station, and a police station. A school, maybe if we need a school, which we do. I think we should put that in the neighborhood, so I'm going to put it right at the entrance there. And let's do some zoning. So let's see, I have a zoning tool somewhere here. Toggle zoning upgrade. Oh. Okay, so that, I don't know what that exactly does. It was just a new mod that I had. Okay. So obviously, since this is not anywhere close to straight lines, we're going to lose a lot of this area for usable zoning. But I'm going to fill it in and just kind of hope for the best. It will be nice because at least there will be some different houses that get built. They won't all be exactly the same. That kind of happens sometimes when it's all just straight lines. They're all pretty much exactly the same house, and it'll be nice to have a little bit of variation. And this development I want to be primarily residential and try to have very little to no commercial in this development. So I'm gonna try building right up against the road here. I know that there's going to be some risk of I want this to be built on my little residential road here and not on the highway, so I guess I'm gonna have to do that and kind of make smaller houses, but at least it leaves a little bit of room so that they're not building on the not highway, the main road here. And right now I don't think that I want to connect the neighborhood to this road that has the services on it, because I kind of, well, maybe we should. So let's go back one here and try to make a nice connection. That doesn't look too bad. I still want to leave the zoning off of that, and I am going to build, actually, you know what, let's go ahead and oop, I don't want to have residences right next to the industrial area there. And this area I'm not going to zone at all. But one thing that I for sure should do now that I have the ability is walls and fences. Zoo fence, nature reserve fence, amusement park fence, and park fence. Forestry fence. I like that. Okay, so why don't we put in, let's get rid of our snap points and put in a fence along the back of here to kind of separate our residential area over here from our industrial area. That didn't turn out how I wanted it to. Okay. It is a little bit different. Actually, I might be able to turn my snap points back on now. So we'll come to, say, right there. And then we can go... I guess not. Need to get rid of... I don't know which one is causing me the issue, so I'm just going to get rid of all of them. Forestry fence. Angle. There we go. I guess I need to go straight right there, and then maybe I'll be able to meet these up a little bit better. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to straight and go along the back right there, and then go back to curved and turn all the snap points on. I guess not all the snap points. It looks a little bit weird to have that there right now because we don't have any houses that are actually built right there. But eventually that'll be a nice little... Actually, why don't we do it along the back of the property as well? Where is it? Yeah. I'll go with a straight right there. I think to right there. Oh, where does it turn? And then curve. We'll go all the way to right there. And that'll look good all the way to right there. All right. And we for sure want to have a fence that goes along the road here. Just like that. And now we'll meet the fence up just like that. Okay. And it looks at the moment like we're real low on commercial. So now that we've gotten rid of all of our industrial that used to be right here, I'm going to make this zoned commercial area, because it is walkable for a lot of our population. This is a great spot to put a little commercial. You can see already how many people use this area for foot traffic. So I did put a zone specialization. I want this to be a leisure area. So let's put in some low density commercial. And that should help us kind of balance out our demand for new zoning. Hopefully they'll build there, which will make it so we can build more houses and kind of it'll finish out our neighborhood here. One thing that we don't have, we have good coverage for medical, for police, and okay coverage for fire, but I'm not going to build a firehouse back here just for like these 3 houses, so they'll just have to do the best they can. But the thing we are missing is a park, and this is a pretty small area to build an actual DLC park, but we should put in some kind of park. And I don't want to just put in like a bouncy house or whatever, so maybe a plaza as well. These are just the assets that come with the game. This is not the new assets from the Parks and Plaza DLC. I don't have that yet. I guess that's a good spot. And I think we'll need to build another over here, but with this one, let's build an actual park. So we have a small park, a small playground, a park with trees, or a large playground. Now the large playground is very large. Let's look at the park with trees. That is even bigger. This one is a small playground and a small park. That takes up an awful lot of our residential area, but it's worth it. So let's put in a small park. And now people in here should be pretty happy. Let's check on our new commercial district and put in some more zoning. Actually, let's just zone the whole thing. I want to leave this empty right here because in my mind it's just going to help with traffic. I don't know if it actually will, but I want to leave it empty for now. In fact, we may need to put in a hospital there, and because anytime you have a big commercial area like this, you have to provide the same services that you do to residential zoned areas. Okay, we do seem to be having a little bit of a traffic backup here. Bear in mind that so far our city does not have any public transport. Eventually, you know, we'll get to that and we'll have some public transport, but at this moment we have no public transport. And I think actually we missed an area right here for our fence. Let's see how tall it is. So it's not quite the privacy fence that I would want. Let's see if we have a privacy fence. We really don't have a privacy fence, so unfortunately it looks like that's sort of the best that we can do. And we still don't have enough people here, so what we might want to do is actually make a hole in our fence and put a path through, a pedestrian path through the, and again we're going to need to take off our snap points and put a pedestrian path that is going to be able to access our commercial or our industrial district over here, and then kind of do the best that we can to meet up our fence to the path. That doesn't look great, but I think unfortunately it might be the best that I can really do at the moment. All right. So let's see how we're doing with people moving in. We do still have some areas that are not built up. Some of this zoning won't get used because of how chopped up the little zoning squares are. Looks like there are some people that are using this path, but not quite as many as I would have hoped. I was hoping that if I made a direct path from this residential district zone over here that it would make it easier for people to work here. So is this an education problem? It looks like I just don't have enough workers at all. Is my population super highly educated or something? Let's see. I think that maybe this one. Okay. So graduated citizens are at 81%. So we have 37% highly educated and 26% well educated. That might be our problem. One way to check that is to create a district. And then, let's see, it might be an actual policy. City planning, industry 4.0. It's gonna, all these buildings are gonna have to move out and they'll rebuild as businesses that employ highly educated workers. So hopefully that'll take care of the issue. And then the uneducated workers will come over here and work because I don't have that policy enacted here. Yeah, and I don't want to, because you want to have an area where uneducated and educated people can work, and we'll kind of have a division now: uneducated workers and educated workers. I don't have any office. I don't have any office zoned, so it's this lighter blue color. And yeah, it looks like I don't have any offices zoned, which is fine with me. I don't really feel a big need to do offices right now. I'm sure I will eventually, but we're only at 22-ish thousand on our population, so there's no big hurry. But I'm liking the way this looks, to kind of have a neighborhood with some bendy roads instead of just having straight roads all the time, like this big, you know, square grid up here. I want to kind of have a mix of both, because in any city there's going to be a large area that's all grids, but the newer developments always have a more interesting road layout, and so I want to kind of use a little bit of both. Okay, so some of these, as you can see, yeah, the new buildings that have changed over their worker requirement have adequate workers, but the ones that haven't, you know, they don't have enough workers. And I think what I'm gonna do is locate the areas in here that don't have the ability really to be built on because of the way that the zoning layout is. And let's put in some landscaping. Let's put in some trees and some bushes and stuff like that. So let's find, let's see, Pacific rhododendron. I don't want to go too crazy with putting in a bunch of trees and bushes everywhere, but we sure want something in here. So here's a live oak, a horse chestnut, young linden, eastern cottonwood, that's a bigger tree, and I don't really have any fir trees or pine trees or anything like that around here, because this is kind of more a tropical, deserty sort of area around here, so it would look pretty odd to have a bunch of pine trees everywhere. So we'll kind of leave those alone. They don't seem to populate fences that much. Like there's individual houses that kind of have some fences, but people are right next to each other with not that much, you know, dividing up the houses, which isn't, in my opinion, isn't that great. I wouldn't want to live, you know, smack dab next to somebody with you know, like no backyard. It'd be kind of sad. Is there any other? Oh, here's a big area that needs some landscaping. What is this? Bamboo? Looks a little bit odd, but we'll go with it anyway. Flower tree. Palm tree. A yew tree. Ooh, I like that. That's a big old tree. Man, that's a lot of wasted space right there. Okay. I think this area is pretty developed, pretty well, you know, got everybody moved in where they're going to be moved in. So, I think that'll pretty much do it for this video. That was my main goal here, was to get a new housing development built and put in. If you have any suggestions for what I could do better in the future, you know, leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed it, like the video and join me next time.